Walk into Costco and it feels like you're entering America's cathedral of savings and self-improvement. Towering aisles of protein powder, organic snacks, and family-sized vitamins stretch to the horizon. The air smells like rotisserie chicken and good intentions. Every label screams healthy, wholesome, smart choice. You grab a cart and feel like you're doing something good for yourself. But here's the shocker. Half a world away in Europe, many of those same healthy Costco staples are straight up banned. Not restricted, not frowned upon, banned. While Americans toss them into carts thinking they're fueling their bodies, Europeans see flashing hazard signs. Because across the Atlantic, the rulebook is different. Europe's regulators move first and ask questions later. America waits for the lawsuits. The result? 2 continents, same brands, completely different standards. The same protein bar that promises fit fuel here would need a warning label there. The cooking spray that calls itself heart healthy in the States would be considered an inhalation risk overseas. It's not that Europeans are paranoid, they're cautious. Meanwhile, we've built a food system that rewards marketing more than safety. This isn't a hit piece on Costco. It's a reality check on what passes for healthy in America. Because when profit meets perception, regulation tends to get lost in the middle. And if you think this is exaggeration, just wait. We're going to walk aisle by aisle and see what Europe banned, what America ignored, and why some of Costco's best-selling products would never make it onto a European shelf. And once you hear the first one, you'll never look at a nutrition label the same way again. Let's start with one of Costco's best-selling healthy snacks, the Kirkland Signature Protein Bar. You've seen it. Matte black box, bold font, promises of high protein, low sugar, guilt-free. It's the kind of thing you throw in your cart and instantly feel like you've made a responsible adult decision. But in Europe, this protein bar would need a chemical warning label, because hidden behind that clean, minimal branding are 2 artificial sweeteners the European Union either banned or forces to carry toxicity warnings: sucralose and acesulfame potassium. Sucralose sounds harmless. It's even marketed as made from sugar. But studies show it can disrupt gut bacteria and mess with insulin sensitivity. Basically, your metabolism's worst first date. Acesulfame K isn't much better. It's been linked to potential neuro and metabolic effects. Europe looked at the data and said, not worth the risk. America looked at the profit margin and said, pass the sample tray. And that impressive 16 grams of fiber sounds wholesome. Until you realize it's extracted additives, not oats or flaxseed. That kind of fiber doesn't gently help your digestion. It shows up like a marching band in your intestines. Loud, chaotic, and impossible to ignore. Meanwhile, European shoppers get their protein from foods that actually resemble food: yogurt, nuts, legumes, not chemical candy bars disguised as health supplements. But here's the crazy part. These bars sell out every week. Because when a label says gluten-free and low sugar, most people stop asking questions. And that's exactly how brands want it. But if you think that's bad, wait until you see what's hiding in the cooking aisle, where Costco sells one of its most innocent products, Kirkland Vegetable Oil Cooking Spray. It's a staple in millions of American kitchens. The label says heart healthy, 0 calories, gluten-free. On the surface, it's the perfect companion for clean cooking. But if you took that same can to Europe, it wouldn't even make it past customs. The oil itself isn't the problem, and it's what's propelling it. Butane, propane, isobutane. The same chemicals that power your backyard grill and lighter. Yeah, you're coating your frying pan with lighter fluid and calling it healthy. In the US, that's legal. In Europe, it's banned. Why? Because when these gases are pressurized and sprayed, trace residues can cling to food. You might not taste it, but your lungs and liver don't forget. European regulators decided that even a tiny chance of chronic exposure wasn't worth the risk. America decided to print a heart icon on the can instead. And that 0-calorie label? Total illusion. The serving size is defined as a 1/4 second spray. That's not a typo. A 1/4 of a second. Unless you've got reflexes like a hummingbird, your 0 calories just became 60. Marketing magic at its finest. Europe says if a food product contains propellants, it's not food. The US says if you can brand it as healthy, it's fine. It's a tiny example of how differently the 2 systems think. One built around prevention, the other around persuasion. But if that shocked you, buckle up. Because what's in the kids' snack aisle makes this look tame. A few aisles over, you'll find one of Costco's most deceptive bestsellers, Annie's Organic Bunny Fruit Snacks. They look innocent enough. Cute little gummies shaped like bunnies, plastered with the words organic, real fruit juice, and made with love. The kind of snack a parent grabs without thinking twice. But in Europe, these wouldn't even make it onto the shelves. The reason? Those bright colors and irresistible flavors come from Red 40 and Yellow 5, artificial dyes that the EU either banned or forces to carry warning labels. In fact, European packaging literally states, may have an adverse effect on activity and attention in children. Imagine buying a snack with a hyperactivity disclaimer printed right on the box. Only in America do we call that a treat, and here's where it gets worse. The organic label, it doesn't mean what you think. It only applies to a fraction of the ingredients. The rest is pure lab chemistry wrapped in nostalgia. In Europe, that kind of labeling would trigger a lawsuit. In the US, it triggers a Mom's Choice Award. Even major brands like M&M's and Skittles reformulate their recipes for the European market, swapping out these dyes for natural alternatives like turmeric and beet extract. They can make cleaner versions, like they just don't have to here. That's the difference between regulation and marketing. One protects consumers, the other protects profits. So next time you see a kid happily munching on those fruit gummies, remember, they're not snacking on fruit, they're snacking on chemistry. And if that feels unsettling, just wait until we talk about something most people consider sacred: bread. And not just any bread, the fitness cult favorite, Dave's Killer Bread. You've seen it stacked in Costco's bakery section. Matte black bag, tattooed logo, and a name that screams rebellion. It's the rock star of bread. Organic, non-GMO, 21 whole grains, a label so confident it practically flexes at you from the shelf. But across the Atlantic, Europe wants nothing to do with it. The issue isn't the grains, it's the synthetic folic acid packed inside. In the US, we fortify almost everything: cereals, breads, snack bars, with added vitamins. It sounds good in theory, but here's the catch. Too much synthetic folic acid can overwhelm your body's natural processing system. The EU strictly limits it because excess intake has been linked to potential health risks, including certain cancers. America's logic is simple. If a little is good, a lot must be great. So each slice of Dave's Killer Bread gives you about 25% of your daily folic acid. 2 slices for lunch, a fortified cereal for breakfast, and a multivitamin before bed. Congratulations! You've hit 200% of your daily limit before dinner. Europe prefers you get nutrients the natural way, from foods that are nutritious, not ones pretending to be. Their philosophy is prevention. Ours is supplementation. The irony? A bread that markets itself as real and organic is rejected overseas for being too engineered. It's not evil, it's just another symptom of a system that believes more labels equal more health. And if that feels over the top, wait until we dive into the healthy drink section, where things get a lot sweeter. Let's take a quick stroll to Costco's refrigerated section, where the bottles glow green and the labels whisper detox. We're talking about Naked Green Machine Juice, one of America's most trusted health drinks. The packaging alone makes you feel virtuous. Kale, spinach, spirulina, every buzzword in the wellness dictionary printed right on the front. But here's what most people don't realize. In Europe, that same drink wouldn't even be allowed on shelves. Beneath that glossy green glow are synthetic vitamins and ambiguous natural flavors that don't actually come from fruit. Add in over 50 grams of sugar per bottle and you've basically got a Coca-Cola in a yoga outfit. In fact, some of the synthetic vitamin forms used in these smoothies were banned in the EU after long-term safety concerns. Europe's rule is simple: if it's not proven safe, it's not approved. America's rule? If it sells, it's probably fine. And that natural flavor line on the label? It's one of the biggest loopholes in modern food marketing. It can legally hide up to 100 chemically processed compounds under one friendly-sounding phrase. Europe calls that deceptive. The US calls it innovation. Even the color that makes you feel like you're drinking from the fountain of health is enhanced artificially. It's not kale, it's chemistry. So the next time you see someone sipping a $5 green machine after yoga class, remember, it's not a detox, it's dessert. But we're not done, because hiding deeper in Costco's aisles are the products we trust the most. The daily staples that should be the safest of all: peanut butter, multivitamins, protein powder, the everyday essentials. But this is where things get quietly alarming. Take Kirkland Organic Peanut Butter. 2 ingredients, peanuts and salt. Simple, right? Except the problem isn't what's on the label, it's what can grow inside it. Peanuts naturally develop aflatoxins, toxic compounds produced by mold in warm, humid storage conditions. The US allows small, safe amounts. Europe's rule? Zero tolerance. Because long-term exposure to aflatoxins is linked to liver damage and even cancer. Over there, every batch gets tested. Here, it's more like, test a few jars, hope for the best. Then there's Kirkland's Daily Multivitamin. Bright label, hundreds of nutrients. Promises to fill the gaps. But the EU banned one key ingredient in 2022, titanium dioxide. It makes pills look shiny and smooth but serves no nutritional purpose. Studies suggest it can accumulate in the body and damage DNA. Europe said, why risk it? The US said, looks good on shelves. Even Costco's organic protein powders don't escape scrutiny. Many contain carrageenan, a thickener derived from seaweed that sounds natural but acts like a gut irritant. The EU banned it from infant foods entirely after studies linked it to inflammation. And independent lab tests found traces of lead, cadmium, and arsenic in some American protein powders. Well below US limits, but above what Europe would ever allow. Same brands, same packaging. Completely different safety standards. Europe pulls products if there's doubt. America pulls them when there's evidence. And that difference, prevention versus damage control, shows up in every aisle. By now, the pattern is impossible to ignore. Europe bans it, America brands it. So next time you walk into Costco and see those bright labels promising a better you, take a second look. Because if Europe won't touch it, maybe that's the warning label we actually need. What's legal doesn't always mean what's healthy, and what's convenient isn't always what's safe. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.